Hi, I'm Mike Allen, radio personality, voice talent, author, and entrepreneur with the Bachelor of Science major in Communications. This is the message we must teach our boys. Men, the only time that they should father children is when they are ready, willing, and able to become a family. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Mike Allen Inspires. Life issues and dynamic lessons from real OGs. For teenage kings and mindful parents, real talk from a real OG who lived it, learned it, and wants to give it back. Now, here's your life coach, Mike Allen.
So what does ready, willing, and able look like? I read a book many years ago entitled Every Man's Battle. We're going to come back to that book in a minute. The basic message of the book is that every boy and every man has a male nature. What this means is that our fundamental biological internal DNA is our male nature. This is that part of the boy or man that has little or no control of their physical or hormonal desires. You've heard the term, I'm horny. This is why I reference the male man. Until a boy or man becomes a real man, the one who practices self-control and becomes a master of his desires, he is still allowing the little boy inside of him to rule and govern his male nature. Here's a question for you fellas. Will you trust an 8-year-old boy to make life-changing decisions for you? Now be careful how you answer the question. I would bet and gamble that your answer is probably no. No way. But check this out. Even as a full-grown man, when you make immature choices and decisions that hurt and cause disruption in your growth and progress, it's no different than giving an irresponsible child permission to run and decide your affairs. In return, your best self becomes your worst disadvantage. How many fathers are listening to me today? Are you a father because you planned it, or did you become a father due to that male man inside you? The one that was horny. He needed to release the pressure. Was becoming a father a planned choice, or was it a result of you acting out of your male nature? Are you the one that regret hearing the news that you are soon to be a dad, but all you really wanted to do is run and hide instead of feeling joy and excitement of knowing that you are responsible for bringing a life into the world? If you feel what I'm saying, please like and subscribe. Share so the algorithms can work for us and not against us to get this message out. I know that this is a tough message for many of you to hear, but necessary if you want to grow and mature, and especially if you want your boys to grow. Now here's the difference and the point we all need to hear and understand. How often is it that men plan for fatherhood? When was the first and last time you heard a man say, I'm preparing for fatherhood? Right. That's a rare statement coming from a man or a male. This is the phrase we hear from women. A female will say, I'm preparing to be a mother. I'm excited. I can't wait to be a mom. When it comes to men, oftentimes it's something that just happens only to be told by the female, I'm pregnant. And to a man's surprise, how'd that happen? You sure it's mine? You know what I'm talking about, fellas. Now, don't get me wrong. There are men who embrace fatherhood. They embrace the idea of having a son or daughter. The idea of bringing a child into the world is extremely exciting for many men. But the truth be told, there are a large group of men who reject the idea or thought of fathering a child with most women they lay with, but yet father a child with these women anyway. These are the male men, never giving any thought or planning to becoming a father and the responsibility involved in raising and caring for another life. Now let's get back to the book I mentioned earlier, Every Man's Battle. This book has sold over 4 million copies. What makes this title so relevant, he's addressing the male man, which every boy is born with. The difference between the real man and the male man, or that grown boy, is that real men are selective and purposeful. Sex is not a tool they use to simply gratify and satisfy their own fleshly urges and needs. They stop and think about the who, what, when, where, how, and why. Why do I need to surrender my soul and possibly my life to someone else? Oftentimes, they postpone sex until they are ready, willing, and able to handle the responsibilities associated with sex, especially when it comes to irresponsibly spilling their seed and fathering a child, knowing it's not what they want. Real men remind themselves, I have a say-so too. Now understand me. I'm not suggesting that a man is never going to have intercourse until he is a full-grown man. No, that's not what I'm signifying. The point I need you to understand and explain to the teen boys in your life is that when it comes to approaching sex and engaging in it, a real man and the male man approach it from two different perspectives. Hear me clearly. When the male man becomes mature, he hit different. A real man mindset has three characteristics that prevent him from engaging in casual sex. Number one, he operates out of a self-love mindset. This means that he never allows his best self to become his worst nightmare. This first principle leads into the next two principles. The second principle is self-control. His thinking is, why give up my freedom and control only to have someone or something else to control me? He's asking the questions like, if I lay with these women, how will this affect my future? Who is she really? What's her motive? Am I putting my best self and my future in jeopardy? What if she gets pregnant? Does she have any sexually transmitted diseases? Is this the woman I want to marry and spend the rest of my life with and birth my offspring? Real OGs understand what this looks like. When you enter into the player's world, you always wind up getting played. The street noise explains it this way. Never get hooked on the product. Once the female persuasion has you addicted is when you lose yourself and then you lose everything else. Lastly, a real man mindset says never lose sight of your purpose and potential. It's like throwing your God-given gifts away only for them to be trampled over like pigs in a pig pen where you will find yourself. Don't make your move too soon. Stop and think things through to avoid living in guilt and shame. Matthew 6:7 explains it this way. Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. Real men understand that they are the self-stewards of their life and domain that must be protected and cared for with all diligence. So they hit different. They reason and talk to themselves to get clarity and understanding before making a bad move they'll live to regret. Now that we have a better understanding of what a real man looks like, let's talk about the nature of the male man, the grown boy that never grew up. This is the man who acts out of impulse and temptation, the one who deals with sexual addictions, pornography, and lust, the man who gives no thought for his sexual actions, the man who purposely preys upon women to satisfy his sexual urges and desires with no regard to the consequences of what these actions would do to himself and the female or females. This is the guy that has little or no self-control because he has no idea of what self-love looks like. He's the one that will throw away his God-given gifts to be trampled over like pigs in a pig pen. In simple terms, he wants what he wants when he wants it, no matter who it hurts in the end. The male man, or that grown boy who appears to be a full, mature, real man, is nothing more than a fake version of a Rolex watch. Everything looks good on the outside, but internally, he's made up of cheap, recycled, artificial parts. The time is always wrong. His life is a reflection of that mindset. You never know when his fake Rolex will break down and need repaired. He lives by rules in the player's handbook. He never learned the art of investing. He will only kill, steal, and destroy the lives of women and children because he has no desire to be a responsible man. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the behaviors of a male man and grown boy mindset. He walks around every day with the tattoo engraved on the top of his head that reads, "Irresponsible. Enter at your own risk." The male man never takes responsibility and accountability for his actions, choices, and decisions. He never practices self-control or care about the ultimate condition of his soul. So fellas, I ask the question, which one are you? The male man or the real man? Are you that grown boy who lived life by your lower nature, the male prowess, or the real man who lives by his higher vibrations? But guess what, brothers? This message is not just for you as much as it is for your sons, nephews, and grandsons. There is an urgent need to teach them the difference between what a real man and a mailman looks like so that they will know the benefits and rewards of becoming a real man and or the consequences of continuing to be the mailman or staying in that grown boy mindset. Parents, aunties, uncles, grandmothers, and grandfathers, if you feel my message today, please give me a like, subscribe, and share so that my channel, our channel, can grow and these kinds of messages will reach the ones that need to hear it most. Parents, I'm here to help and assist you. I understand that you may not have all the tools and skills needed to recognize where your teen boys may be trending or heading when it comes to adopting behaviors that hurt and harm them, and if not caught in time, can destroy their purpose and potential. If not caught and addressed, over time, erosion takes place that ultimately kill their future wins, or worst case scenario, put them 6 feet under. I'm about reaching the innocent ones, those that are willing to listen and have not yet been corrupted and poisoned by the world, but still have a chance of becoming their best self in order to live their best life. So to sum it all up, this is the takeaway. We must teach our boys and girls to love themselves, and the only time they should father or mother children is when they are ready, willing, and able to become mothers and fathers, which produces a family. This is the only reason to have children. It's because you desire to become a family. Otherwise, sex becomes an activity or a means to release. Many of you may have never looked at it from this perspective. Doesn't mean I'm right. It's just my opinion. Because this channel is new, I'm working on creating a 12-step outline free to help parents reference and address negative self-sabotaging behaviors that you may not otherwise see or recognize in your teens. Understand me, this YouTube game only works when you work it. It's all about algorithms. So please, all I'm asking for in return for bringing you this content is like and subscribe and share. So until next time, parents, do your part and remind your teens that ultimately their life is not your responsibility, but theirs. So tell them, create your best self to live your best life. Never live by excuses. Until next time, I'm Mike Allen.